Welcome to a brief history of where we explore the comic book origins of characters appearing on the big screen in 6 minutes or less. As comic books often are, there are many different incarnations and versions of a character, but today we'll be focusing on Anthony Miller, better known as Rick Flag. A variation of Rick Flag will appear in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, portrayed again by Joel Kinnaman. The original Rick Flag, Anthony Miller, was created by writer and editor Robert Knaier and artist and editor Ross Andru in September 1959, and he made his debut in The Brave and the Bold, Volume 1, Issue 25, The Three Waves of Doom. There are multiple conflicting stories of Rick Flag's origins. In the original story, he was a pilot during World War II. His entire squadron sacrificed themselves so he could destroy an enemy aircraft carrier, and he dedicated his life to making sacrifices for others, thus joining the Suicide Squad. It was later revealed, however, that this actually happened to his father, Richard Montgomery Flagg, who became the leader of the 1940s Suicide Squadron. So take away from that what you will. A large wave carrying a reddish hue object begins to ebb its way towards a seaside resort. As onlookers run away, they feel a great heat coming from the wave as it turns the sand into glass. Firefighters and bombers carrying foam bombs are unable to stop the heated object and are forced to retreat as it causes their hoses and wings to melt. When all other options are exhausted, the military commander puts in a call to a new team, the Suicide Squad. Colonel Rick Flag is the Suicide Squad's team leader and the pilot of the Flying Laboratory, as the writers call it, a plane with special equipment on board for analyzing and testing. Beside him sits Karen Grace, flight medic for the team, who's secretly attracted to Rick. The lab section of the plane hosts the astronomer Dr. Evans and physicist Jess Bright. As the plane flies over the strange heated anomaly, it is brought into an uncontrolled dive. Rick quickly throws bombs below and lets the turbulence from the explosion toss the plane back into a higher altitude, so he can straighten it out. Jess and Evans have come up with a plan to stop the red wave, but for it to work, Rick will have to swoop down over it and hope it doesn't take them in his heat storm. They put it to a vote and it's unanimous, so Rick pilots the plane towards the red core. When they get close enough, Evans and Jess send out a blast of air pressure from the tail of the plane, hitting the wave with absolute zero temperature, halting it completely as it freezes in ice. The wave is stopped, but the core object still intrigues Jess and Dr. Evans. The shadow of a figure can be made out from within. Meanwhile, at the secret launch site, Rick and Karen are inspecting a rocket that is to be sent to the moon to gather data for future space travel. Though it is manned by dummies today, Karen comments that the rocket will one day be ready to carry live human passengers back and forth to the moon and beyond. They make their return to pick up Evans and Jess when suddenly a giant reptilian hand smashes out of the core, and soon a great beast claws its way out of the center. The squad's guns have no effect on its thick scaly hide, and it seems to freeze whatever it touches. Rick and the others escape into the flying lab. Evans believes that it was the extreme heat that kept the creature dormant for so long, so he and Jess hypothesize that another dose of the heat should stop the beast again. While they work on a plan, in the back, Rick tries to lead the creature into the ocean, but the beast won't follow. He tries firing a special atom warhead at it, but it catches the missile and freezes it before it can go off. Evans and Jess have come up with a formula that acts like a salt on ice, hoping that using it on the creature will cause it to melt. The creature is sprayed with the formula until its entire body is covered, but the squad is shocked because the creature suddenly changes color. No longer cold to the touch, the beast now seems to draw in all the chlorophyll around it, turning all the trees and grass into a ghostly white color. Rick has one last plan, but it could spell the end of the Suicide Squad. Another vote is cast, and then, with all the members ready to risk their lives to save humanity, Rick leads the creature to the launch site. The four of them abandon the plane and rush into the rocket, taking their stations as Rick begins the countdown. As expected, the creature latches itself onto the rocket just as it takes off, carrying the beast and the Suicide Squad out of Earth's atmosphere. Rick takes the rocket closer and closer to the sun, until the gravitational pull pulls the creature off the rocket and into internal orbit. With great effort, Rick brings the rocket out of range of the sun's orbit and begins the long 90 million mile journey back home. As Rick Flag is a human, he possesses no unearthly abilities, but his powers and or abilities include Master Military Tactician and Strategist, Master in Armed and Unarmed Combat, is a military expert, great at tracking, and he is a great aviator. An original incarnation of Rick Flag, actually called Richard Rick Flag in the movies, though an adaptation of the original Rick Flag has been created for David Ayer's Suicide Squad, as well as James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, portrayed by actor Joel Kinnaman. In 2016, Flag was recruited by Amanda Waller's Argus to lead her new Task Force X program, The Suicide Squad, alongside a team of Navy SEALs in an operation to defeat Enchantress and Incubus. The mission proved successful and Flag stayed on as the squad's field leader. 2021 sees the squad deployed once again with Flag as team leader on a mission to Corto Maltese to assassinate the ruthless dictator Sylvia Luna and destroy a, let's just say, a World War II era fortress known as Jotunheim. I usually end these videos off with asking if you're excited for the upcoming Suicide Squad, but today I'm going to ask you if you're excited for the new Black Adam movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Let me know in the comments if you are, and I'll see you later.